and be able to play on the very best in the moment it counts. This warm-up usually goes for 2 minutes, and then players are ready for the battle.
We want to remind our listeners, our viewers, that we're broadcasting through FBC TV. We're having a YouTube streaming as well in our ITTF page and Facebook page as well, and ITTF.com. The match started. It's Maxim Grebnev against Yi-Hsin Feng.
A lot more we'll see now in the boys' final, a lot more emotions. Particularly Grebnev is known for his extroverted personality and for his ability to bring the crowd behind his side with his loud showing. Something that some people, some other opponents might even distract a little bit. And it's a good way for Grebnev to push himself. We can see this already here now in the first set of the first match. The team standing up, showing they are behind their player, they're behind their number one player. And in these moments, this is always the question for a lot of people. Is table tennis a team sport? We see the team in the back there, and we can see how they support their teammate. And even though it is, of course, an individual sport of one player being on the court, this team in the back here can have a massive impact on the results.
We've just seen a good topspin from Maxim Grebnev, but in general terms, I think both players are cautious right now at the starting points with their style of games. We'll see how it progresses through the game.
Yeah, it's often, particularly in the beginning, the players try to feel the ball a little bit, try to see what is the opponent doing, what is the opponent's tactic, and to see then, okay, how, with these different strategies the players in mind, what is he meant to play. Like here we see top spins on both sides, similar to when the girls were playing. At the end of the day, the general tactic is often, most of the times, to attack first, and we can see here how the players try to take the initiative at an early stage in the rally, making sure they can attack either over the table with a backhand flick, or when the ball is half long, trying to play forehand topspin.
We want to listen to the opinions of our listeners and viewers. For you guys, who is the favorite athlete to win this final, or the favorite team? You can comment that on our different platforms already mentioned: YouTube, Facebook, ITTF webpage. And yeah, it'll be good to get you guys involved in the evening. It's 5-5 Grebnev against Feng right now. Really tough final. I think players are analyzing each other in these starting points.
You could feel the tension between those two teams already in the combined training camp prior to this tournament, where both teams knew they are the favorites. They are gonna face each other when it comes to winning the gold medal, and they were really cautious at this training session. I remember they would train rather individually than training with each other, just not to give too much away. And on this level, a half-long serve a little bit too high is deadly. Pivoting around Feng and just finishing down the line.
We were pinpointing the difference between North America and Asia back in the girls' final. For Europe, it's a really strong continent as well, but still, you think it's kind of intimidating to be in a final against Asia teams?
I think I was talking to the boys a bit earlier today, and if you know the players, this is what they're waiting for. These are real athletes. These are athletes who are either already professional or who are working their way through to become professional players. And these are the moments, what they are fighting for, what they are training for, what they're sweating for every day to make it to this final and to show Asia who's the boss.
Have you been in a World Cup with Patrick?
I never played myself at the World Cadet Challenge. I've It's been a great experience to be the coach here, to see this environment, and as mentioned before, this is a unique tournament.
We're 10-7 up in the first game of the finals. Thank you against Max Grebnev is coming up, just putting some pressure on Yi-Hsin Feng. When you're 10 so close to the game point, and the other player is coming up and shortening the distance, that gets you a lot of pressure. Or you need to know how to manage it well.
If you have a big lead and the other player is recovering from it and taking momentum, you really need ice in your veins to stay cool and calm to win this final point. We had it just a couple of days ago. Timo Boll playing against world #1, legend of the sport, Ma Long, being 10-4 down. Against Yang Hu, winning, being 10-4 down, and then winning 12-10 in the deciding set.
Asia for the serve.
Game to Asia.
So it's 1-up for Asia team. Yi-Hsin Feng demonstrating what Asia is made up from. Maxim Grebnev will need to come back in the second game. He's a really tough player. I think he's able to come back. But yeah, it's just initial game. We saw the players kind of cautious, analyzing each other. They didn't want to make mistakes because there's some pushes there. Yeah. Normally Grebnev will hit an attack straight away.
He was not able to attack in this match so much. You're right. Usually Grebnev is someone who really wants to be proactive and really takes the initiative of the game. But Feng was extremely smart here, controlling the short game, playing half long with really good quality. So the first open up from Grebnev was not strong enough, and then Feng was able to counter-attack straight away. Certainly something we would see now in the second set again, unless Grebnev is able to take the initiative.
Asia to serve,
more quality, with more quality.
Yi-Hsin Feng up for serve. Nice rally. What a shot from Yi-Hsin Feng. Getting up the first point of the second game here at the finals.
And here again, it looks so easy, but when you see where Feng was staying to play this last four on topspin, incredible. Really shows how strong, how fast Feng is to play forehand from this world.
Nice counter back from Grebnev. He doesn't want to stay below the game. Yeah, I think we're seeing one of the two best players we've had these days so far at the competition.
Absolutely. You were mentioning Europe as a strong country, and it's been a big rivalry in basically in the whole history of table tennis, where some Eastern Asian countries such as Japan and of course China dominating the sport. And then there were those periods where some countries such as old Yugoslavian countries or Sweden or now Germany trying to or being able to win against some of the Eastern Asian top players. And this dominance we can see in almost every world ranking, whether we look at the men, look at the women, or the boys or the girls.
3-2 for Team Asia. Nice top and a top swing from Yi-Hsin Feng. Taking up a 2-point advantage on the second game of the final. Maxim Grebnev just trying to see where can he make his shots, where to put the ball on this table tennis. So you need to be very precise. It's just such a millimeter game, you know. Every area, surface area, centimeter of the table counts.
Yeah, Grebnev is trying. He's trying to get hold of this match somehow.
You see, he wanted to do a trick shot there, didn't work out.
Team Europe still behind their player. Still trying to help the team.
6-3.
Here again, for a viewer from outside, you could think, oh, how can you miss that one? How can this ball go to the net? But it's an incredible rotation and spin of the ball that those players create in their service and in their return.
7-3 for Xing. Nice one. Nice one from Feng to get a 5-point lead. Yeah, it seems that this game will have a good result for Asia, Patrick. What do you think?
Absolutely. Feng at the moment, he's all over him.
And again.
Grebnev, every time he opens up, Feng is ready to counter-attack. Every time he keeps it short, Feng just responds with good quality, keeping it short or flicking the next ball.
From a coaching point of view, what is best for an attacking player, to go straight forward to the ball, to wait for it and then hit with that really hard top spin?
This is always the $1 billion question, I guess. It depends so much on the situation, on what are you actually getting there in regards to the quality of the ball that you have to receive. If the ball is sitting high, if there's not much spin on the ball, if you think you have a good position, then you want to go for this ball and try to finish it.
And 2-0 for Asia. We thought it was going to be a much more equalized first match. Apparently Asia is better. Maxim is now talking with his coach. We'll see what happens on the third game. We had seen some good rallies, some good top spins, some good smash. So we're having a good time here at the Vodafone Arena. I'll invite you guys to come here. We just started the final. There's plenty more time to go. We have Patrick with the comments.
If there's one coach outside of Eastern Asia who can help Grebnev now, it's certainly Nevin Signa, Europe's current coach, previous national coach in Europe and private coach of Tamara Borosh, former world number 2. Players getting ready. Let's have a look at the body language from Grebnev. How focused is he? How confident is he?
Xing Feng looks so quiet, no? So relaxed.
Beautiful
That's really
serve.
important for the mentality as well. When you're so excited and nervous, that can play
Love all.
wrong side for you, you know?
Just missing that forehand. When Grebnev wants to win this match against world number 4 Feng, it has to be the perfect day. It has to be the perfect moment, and all his shots have to sit and be in place. And we can see that Grebnev is trying, but it is not one of those days. It is not one of those moments, and that's what he is struggling with at the moment, to find this ball that gives him a little bit of confidence. And maybe it's this one. Saw that the ball is a little bit too high, goes over the table, plays forehand flip.
Nice point of breath, giving him a little breath. It's 2-1 up now. Waiting for the third serve. And again, Max Grip for the 2-2 up in the third game of the finals. This is his last chance. If Feng wins this game, it's all over for him. Nice serve.
2-3.
You were telling me, Patrick, Asia and Europe are really strong continents in the table tennis world. Why is this? It goes from the development programs to high performance. So can you explain a little bit?
Yeah, you're mentioning the right things there. It's a long history of table tennis. It's a long history of table tennis in those continents. And as I said before, it's sport number 1 in China and in many other countries. There's a really big participation in this sport, and
they actually start training since year 8 or
This
7,
is
right?
this is another factor. We can even see in Asia how
3, 4.
players start. Basically, in the moment they can walk 3, 4, 5, and it's not just the day where they start in China and some other Asian countries. It's even more when they become really committed to the sport, and where it even becomes sometimes more important than the academic career of the child. And being exposed to such high volume of training, to such high intensity and quality of training, then gives those players this extra advantage already in young age. In Europe, we see this in not such an extreme way. There is high participation numbers in some countries, but they often focus still until they are older on the academic career as well, and try to balance both the academic career and the sports career. And this often then, just these couple of years where they train less with less intensity, this often sometimes costs them then the extra quality you need on senior level.
Certainly really a tough pathway from young player to become a professional one, but what a life they get when they become professionals back in Asia, no? I think table tennis players are the most paid athletes. Is that true?
Paid athletes
In Asia, back in Asia.
in China,
Players, Japan.
they often get a lot of money. They are other sports athletes in Japan and China that are really highly paid as well. But certainly China and the market there, this is where you win the dollars. If we look at the previous years of the World Cadet Challenge, we can say we can see that Europe won last time 2015 the boys team event in Egypt, Sharm el Sheikh, in a really close match against Asia, and this was the previous time was 2008 in Sweden. So we can see Asia dominance, not just at the girls but also at the boys.
We see Grebnev coming back at this third game. It's 9-5 up. This will be a great opportunity for Team Europe to get closer to Asia, and we can hopefully see Grebnev demonstrate his best skills during these last games.
Nice. What we can see now is, rather than trying to keep up with the speed from Feng, Grebnev is changing the rhythm, playing his top spins with slightly more trajectory, slightly more rotation, and we can see then how Feng struggles a little bit with it, and this is just beautiful.
What a nice backhand, huh?
Beautiful table. This last shot, his right knee was on the ground. This is how he was standing there, and no one can tell me when they see this shot that we still think that table tennis is not a sport.
That's the footwork I was talking about. We can describe this one at this point. That Max Gref really putting his knee up to the floor, basically.
Absolutely, staying low, trying to get under the ball with his bat. And nice topspin rally.
We've heard a lot of teammates and coaches shouting the word "chole" when their teammates win a point. Can you explain a little bit more of that? What are the origins of what does "chole" means?
Yeah, not sure. That is a good question. I think if someone would really know that, please feel free to put that into the comment box at YouTube and Facebook. Chole is something that is quite unique in table tennis. We hear it all around the world. It's something that I think was most common within Asia, Eastern Asia, and Europe took that over and maybe then combined it with the French aller. I'm not sure. This is just an assumption, to going from cho to chole to now chole. But yeah, it's something when you talk to or see if people watch it who are not familiar with the sport, this is often a question that comes up. What is this chole?
Third game up. There you heard again the choles. It's actually kind of funny seeing people from all around the world speaking different languages, speaking this Chinese word, chole.
It is.
They get really motivated.
The absolute, this is the table tennis word, number one. that you hear all around the world, and it is the way to push yourself. It's interesting, Feng. We will see how we can adapt with this different kind of rhythm, different kind of spin.
What a nice rally we see there. Unluckily for Grebnev, it was in the net.
This quality, playing wide to back and then going down the line, it is an incredible level from world number 4.
This last game is really intense. Both players want to win the game. And yeah, we're having a hell of a final right here at Vodafone Arena.
It is similar to the girls' event. This first match is what matters the most. If Europe wants to have a chance in this final against Asia, this first match is what matters a lot, to put pressure onto Team Asia, to make them nervous, to make them think. This dominance all around the world, this dominance they have in every event, you can see this in those Asian players. They know they are the best, they know what the job is, and they know how to finish it. This timeout from Team Europe.
We want to invite our viewers and remind them we have the singles events as well coming up on Friday. We've only been playing the team events, which we had Asia as the champion of girls, and we're seeing right now the teams boys final on Friday morning. We'll start in the single events, which will be really interesting as well to see.
We are broadcasting not just on the live streams on YouTube and Facebook. We're also here at Fiji's television channel, FBC. And local people all around Suva, all around Fiji, come over and don't miss out on that opportunity to see absolute world-class table tennis here in Suva.
We've been having some great days with some good entertainment outside the actual playing area, some food stalls, a lot of dalos, a lot of ice cream from our sponsor Tuckers as well, which kids really enjoy. So come up, it's free entry, you'll learn a lot of the sport, you'll get to interact with different cultures from all around the world. Yeah, we're having one of the most good times here at Fiji, at Suva, on this World Cadet Challenge.
7-2.
It's 7-2 for Xin Feng on the boys team final match 2.
Feng was so dominant now in this set. Some players might get nervous, but this is incredible. Grebnev just loading up the forehand from backhand, going cross table there, and Feng just stands there. He knows exactly where the ball is going to. He knows exactly what he has to do to respond to that incredible backhand block. He makes it look so easy, but really just to anticipate where the ball is coming to takes so many hours of training.
Unlucky for Feng, unlucky for Feng. It's really important that wrist detail when you're hitting the ball, right? How much influence does the wrist has in a perfect shot?
Look, at the end of the day, you want always to have the most possible bat acceleration. The power certainly comes from the leg. Then it is something that we call kinetic chain, where the energy flows through the body. We have a hip rotation, upper body rotation, and the ball, and then the energy flows through the arm with then this last bit of wrist, giving not just additional acceleration, giving additional spin, and also giving the player the opportunity to really control the ball. Which direction do you want to hit the ball through? How much spin do you want to put on the ball? This is really at the end defined by the wrist. And this last bit of motion. 3-1 for Feng, 11-3. Almost no emotions, because they both knew this was maybe a little bit expected. Looking through the comment boxes about the question you had previously, Nacho, about the word short.